And 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser has been to our north, and that's where things are going to be worse here in the Tampa Bay area. He's in Crystal River, has been there all day and all evening long. Eric, what are you seeing right now? Anything new? Any changes in the weather for you?
Hi, Dave. Yeah, well, some change. I can tell you there's a little bit more of a breeze, and I know that sounds ridiculous considering what's going to be here in the next few hours. But when you've had dead calm, and again, I use that word again, I know people don't want to use that, but it's just been the calm before the storm. We know that those winds are going to start picking up, and maybe about an hour ago, that's what we had, really just stagnant air in our area and no rain to speak of. Then about a half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, as Natalie pointed out, steady rain now. Not necessarily hard all the time, sometimes just a drizzle, but again, very steady, and the breeze is starting to pick up. So that's a difference in the decline of weather that we're already starting to see. Now, let me show you some pictures that I took a little bit earlier, and you can see that people are heeding the warning. The streets in this area are fairly quiet. People are not out and about. That's US 19. But take a look at this. In some of the back neighborhoods, the water is already starting to come up. That's just from king tide, high tide, full moon, and now the water starting to flow back into some of those neighborhoods on the west side of US 19. That's the area that the sheriff's office and emergency workers are most concerned about. That is why they issued that mandatory evacuation. So come back out to a live picture for a second, and I will share with you what the sheriff's office told us in the form of a media release just a short time ago. This alert from them, it says, "We are prepared for a multitude of catastrophic events that Citrus will experience from Hurricane Idalia, from 60 to 80 mile an hour sustained winds, gusts of expected to be 100 miles an hour, and they are still calling for a storm surge of 8 to 12 feet. Now, we might say 7 to 11 feet, but that is what the sheriff's office is currently saying. And I can tell you that when it comes to what the inundation of water might be in those neighborhoods to the west side of US 19, it's not going to matter much. Back in 1993, they had the unnamed storm. It was a lesser storm than what this might potentially be. They had Hurricane Hermine come by. It was a Cat 1, didn't hit directly, and it pushed water all the way up onto the street behind me. So you can imagine, even though it might seem calm right now, the big concern is that whipping water coming up into this area over the next few hours. Now, we went this evening into some of those neighborhoods. I visited with a lovely couple, Tammy Moore and Robert Gazda. I checked on them again. They said that they were probably going to ride this out. They had some financial interests in this area. So listen to what it is that they say now, given some of the information that we've learned over the last few hours.
Can't say you can't feel a little bit uneasy, queasy. It's time will tell. The next few hours is going to have a big impact, and hope for the best.
Well, a part of me would like to leave. But he thinks we should stay, and so I think we're going to stay for now and see how it goes.
Now, they happen to be up on the second floor of their condominium complex, so for them, even if the water were to come up 10, 11 feet, it might not necessarily reach where they are, but you could see how they would be isolated in their neighborhood until such time as that water finally withdraws. And by then, who knows what get moved and shifted around in that area.